Hey Virgo, welcome to your November reading. This is a re-record because I just recorded Capricorn and Virgo and the sound did not record. So I'm a little bit over it, but we just gotta work with what we got and re-record. Okay. Okay, so it's the exact same card in the same position. That one's a little bit different. Okay, let's see what's in store for you anyway for November. I'm so frustrated. Okay, I am using the Goddess, the Gods, and the Guardians Oracle for the keywords at the top, and I'm using my Archangel Michaels for the main read. I was drawn to use Archangel Michael for this month because I feel like at the moment we are guarded and protected through what we're going through. I kind of feel like this is kind of a moment where we're all kind of living our destiny. I feel like what's happening is happening for a reason. I know that sounds all cheesy, but it's just kind of like, I feel as though society in itself, the energy we've been working with is kind of, we all got stagnant and the world's not working the way that it's been working. So the universal energies, all the retrograding, it's to kind of get us to acknowledge that and realize that we're not living to our full potential. And so we're being forced into these situations that may make us feel uncomfortable. Now Virgo, I am going to hold the mic near my mouth, as you may have noticed that it's a lot more clearer. So my setup is not set up for me to be able to have it resting closer to me. So I'm just going to be holding it for the time being and working with what we've got. So your first card, and this is a very important card, it is a Shun, and she is sweet success. Now, this immediately gives me kind of really warm, loving vibes. I feel as though you have done a lot of work on yourself this year to kind of allow yourself to open up and get you into the position of where you are now. When I read this the first time, I'm literally just kind of repeating what I felt the first time with this card. And it was about, I kind of got this sense of travel for some of you, about kind of doing something that's going to bring you joy. And I felt like maybe there's travels for some of you, a destination which kind of is either warmer climate or something that's just bright to you. By bright, I mean it brings you joy, it brings you happiness, and the thought of being there or traveling there gives you that feeling. I feel like that's something to work towards. I feel as though whatever you're putting out in the universe, that is bringing you great success. And like I said, I feel as though you've done a lot of shadow work on yourself this year, really worked on healing your wounds and starting to be your authentic self. And this card literally to me represents that beauty of you coming into your own and living your happiness and living your truth now. And I'm loving that. So the first card we have, I remember when I first read her, something came through about kind of letting go of your fears and living that. And at the moment, the energies are kind of like saying, if something scares you, if there's something that brings your fears to the surface that makes you think, oh, I'm scared to make this move, you probably should be doing it. It's like kind of taking that risk and realizing that if you don't take that risk, are you going to be able to achieve the goals that you deserve, the goals that you desire kind of thing? And the answer is often no, you can't, because you need to take this risk in order to reap the rewards. And your first card is let go of fear now. So this is saying let go of those worries. Don't let fear hinder you and stop you from going for exactly what you want, because you can have it. You've done all the work to get you to the space where you can have exactly what you want and what you desire. But it takes releasing the worries. And I feel like the only thing holding you back now is kind of those worries of like the what ifs, the maybes. And I'm going to read it kind of like this all together. Your next card is the sense of humor card. And this is a card that says it's time to kind of detach from the stresses and the hardships of a situation, and see the kind of lighter side, understand that there is love there. So I kind of feel like within a situation, if it's in regards to a goal, I feel like you should be looking at it from a kind of fun perspective, as this is a journey that's going to take, like, with excitement, that kind of young, youthful, lightheartedness of joy that we kind of, when we get excited about something, it really kind of does shine light on the whole experience. That's what I kind of want for you, and that's what I feel the universe is trying to say to you, is like, look, this is so fun. Yes, there's going to be stresses or something might not go the way we want, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good thing. It's not a good experience. It's kind of like allowing, for example, you're on a high and somebody says something negative to you and that brings you down to a low. If you just focus on that one negative thing, it will just kind of, it can shadow that whole experience. So this is saying, look, detach from that, realize that you have so much to be happy for, choose that. That's what I kind of feel like for you. The next one we have hell, end of a cycle. I'm loving that. So this is set up now with the keywords. They are different to what you had originally for the rest of the keywords. Initially you had, it was one that, and I'm going to mention it because I felt that it was really beautiful. So I felt like I have a Virgo LGBTQ watcher or viewer, or maybe a few of you are, and it was kind of about becoming your authentic self and that you've done the work to kind of allow that into your life. I remember touching on Virgo that I felt as though, for example, I had this kind of cultural thing where you felt as though you've kind of separated who you are to who your family is and that kind of thing. And I feel like somewhere along that line, like whether you've kind of melded them a little bit, taken that first step to allow that your kind of life circle all to kind of intertwine a little bit. Kind of as though, for example, if you have a partner, you've introduced them to your mum. It's like next level of like you actually accepting who you are and your partners and allowing like your family to be a part of that now. It's kind of letting go of those fears, and that could be partial of what that fear would represent as well, if that's relevant to you. I just felt that was worth mentioning, because I do think early in the year I remember saying something similar and telling you to just go for it. It's beautiful and all that kind of thing, so I felt that relevant to say now. End of a cycle, hell. So she's saying, you know, you've done the work. And I do feel like, Virgo, that because it's Scorpio season, it's shadow work season, I feel like you've actually done so much work that this is more of a kind of a like, well done, you're reaping rewards, you're on your way to success because you are becoming your authentic self. It's more of a just a like letting you know, like, hey, we've ended a cycle now, we're in this new beginning, let's keep with this way. I feel as though you feel your power in this. And again, you're reminded, so literally right next to each other, you had that let go of fear now, and you have go forward fearlessly. Now, this card really does represent, Virgo, on what I have been saying to you for this entire year worth of readings that I have done this year. And it's that central. I always felt that you held your kind of held something close to you as though, and kept it in this kind of victim mindset. It's like, yes, this is my trauma, but it's mine. And you kind of kept yourself behind a wall. And I feel like you've really opened that up and done the work that's been really monumental to you overcoming that. And I feel like this card is saying, let's remember that. Let's keep on top. And I do feel like this reading for you is to say, congratulations, well done. But let's make sure we stay on course. So go forward fearlessly also represents, again, releasing of stress and worries and realizing that you are where you're meant to be. And again, these are your on the right path cards, both of those, which is exactly what we want to see. And they indicate that this is part of what you're meant to go through in order to go to where you're going as well. Your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. So this represents trusting yourself. And I feel as though this has been a big drive for you. It is becoming yourself and believing in yourself and trusting that. And this is saying like you can trust in yourself, and you should. I do feel as though the opinions of others can hinder you. I just touched on that a moment ago, like how if somebody says something negative, you can really take it personally. And I feel like that's the one thing that can get your walls back up. So I feel like be conscious of that. And instead of trusting the words of other people, is trust your words. You know yourself better than anyone, and you're the only person really that ever will understand you. Because you are you, and you're going through your things as you know? So I want you to realize that and trust in yourself. Have complete faith. And yeah, don't listen to any gossip is what I want to say. And the words of others, I feel as though there's some kind of negativity that, again, you may allow to have more strength than it really deserves. Safe space. So I did touch on in the beginning, I believe, about how I believe this is a time where we are all protected, and this is exactly really what this represents. It's a time where we are protected, but it's a time of reflection. I feel as though like no rushing into anything is key here for many of the signs. It's taking our time. It's kind of resetting. I do feel like this time of year we should all be kind of trying to rest and figure out where we want to be. We're coming up to that time, which is my favorite time of year, really, where we all start making those New Year's resolutions. So now is that time to kind of just rest and have a think on and contemplate where do we want to go, and reflect on the year that we've had in preparation for the truly moment when we're like, next year, this is my goals, this is my drive. I feel like this is not a time to be goal setting, but more just having the kind of joyful side and reflecting on that. I get this sense with the same with that Ashun card and with Nematoma. It gives me that sense of Nematona. I feel like I said, I don't know what I said. Anyway, the lights are shining through on that card. And that to me is like embracing the happiness and the joy and focusing on those instead of the shadows. I feel like there's a lot of wisdom in your happiness, as though like the happy moments that you're going to have this time of year is going to give you more clarity than if you focus on what makes you feel bad. With this column, we have lean on the God and the angels for support. So if you are feeling a little down, now I feel like I'm going to say what I said in the reading for you that we had before, because this is very, very relevant. It's really annoying me that that video didn't record, but there must be a reason. But I feel as though if you're in a relationship, there may be some situation where you say something that is not right. I need to drink. Hello. Okay. So I have a tickly throat now, so bear with me. Okay, so in that keyword position last time, we had watch your words. Now, I'm not going to say too much. I feel like the fact that I am getting a little bit tickly throat means I don't really need to express that to you now. Perhaps you were never meant to hear it. But if there is a dynamic where there is confrontation, and I feel like as though you need to be careful with your words and actions. I feel as though you may say something that is not authentic with what you feel, but it could make somebody else feel as though they're not as important to you as they are. So just be mindful of that. I feel like, again, with this safe space and kind of reflection, it's about kind of not being forceful with your words and your actions during this time. Prayer will help this situation. It's definitely say don't take action and reflect. Again, it is time to be preparing. When I remember the first time with that travel, it was saying like, it's not a time to just hop on a plane tomorrow. Take your time, start organizing this trip to make sure that it goes more, you know what I mean? It's exactly where you want to go. The destination is perfect. Instead of hopping on a plane and getting on the other side and being like, oh, I'm here, now what? I feel like it's something you need to organize, to look forward to, and kind of reach for your goals kind of vibe. Next we have Mau Lisa. I apologize if I say the names wrong. I'm not very good with names. And balance. Here we go. I do feel like for you, Virgo, this is exactly, I mean, when I started doing these readings last year, December is when I started my channel, I believe. And I was like, 2022, the year of balance. And I've been feeling that it's been a roller coaster of ups and downs, has been for absolutely everybody. And it's because the universe is telling us, like, we need to create more balance in our life. Instead of just being a cog in the works where we live from day to day, mundane life, like none of us are happy with that. We want to find some joy in our life. And I feel like, Virgo, you're one of the signs that has consistently been doing something to be more authentic with who you are. To me, this is sort of saying like you are doing the work to that. I feel as though continue with the work that you've been doing to make sure that you are the dominant kind of light in your life. I feel like you should no longer hide away in the shadows. You need to realize that you are a being that has, again, both dark and light within you, and become to a place of peace with that. It is just giving me this contented with who you are, being able to be very comfortable. Next we have it's time to leave an unhealthy situation. I definitely really get the vibe. I'm going to say it anyway. So I do feel like there's going to be something in your life that needs, it's like a way of you. It's like something you've learned. So I'm going to use pride as an example because that really shone through the last time I was here, and it's kind of below the surface. So for example, if you are LGBTQ, Often in cultures like or even religions, you're told you can't be that, and there comes with this level of shame. And I feel like that everybody within that situation suppresses a piece of that of themselves, and this gives me that vibe. And it's about kind of, I feel like for you, you've done really well of kind of bringing out your authentic self and taking the steps to let go of that. And I feel very positive that that is what you're applying to your life. But it's realizing that you need to relearn all of that and understand that, all of that shame that you brought with you, that's not true and it's not authentic. And it really just takes time to kind of shed all of that off yourself. So be kind to yourself, but it is time to let go of that. I feel like here there would be the devil card that would come up, which is about releasing an unhealthy habit or an old way of knowing. And I definitely get this sense of this year has been a kind of change in the way that you think and view the world. And this is just clarifying that. Ask Archangel Michael to help you with the situation. Right, you literally have 3 cards. Prayer will help you with this situation. Lean on God and the angels for support, and ask Archangel Michael for help with the situation. It's basically saying, have faith and lean on your supportive kind of faith. I feel like you are very surrounded by your ancestors in a very supportive way right now. The veil is thin, and in all cultures throughout the world during this time of year, it is all about honoring our ancestors. And I feel like this is very a good time for you to be leaning on that support system that you do have available to you. And major reflection. This is not a time to rush into anything or take action. This is a time for you to kind of continue that healing. If you do meditation, I feel like that is very beneficial for you, Virgo. If you don't, perhaps you should look into that. But again, Archangel Michael is an archangel of protection. He's kind of like this big brother role model. It's kind of how I feel that energy when I'm channeling him. And I feel like that's what he's here for you, is to say, if you need that, take a moment, ask for my guidance, and I will help you. If you need a sign for something, I feel like that's something to do as well. So yeah, but good vibes, Virgo. I feel like there's good things ahead of you. Go forward fearlessly. Don't stress the small stuff. Yeah, do things that you enjoy. Thank you so much for being here, Virgo. Please subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date with your monthly readings, and I'll see you next month. Thank you, guys.